Rosh Hashana is upon us. And Rosh Hashana is not just a new year, it's head of the year. On this day, we stand before Hashem for judgment, in judgment. A king sitting on his throne and judging his people, judging the world, in fact. Chachamim have given 3 ideas in the concept of shofar, the tekiyot shofar. We have that in the Musaf, in the tefillah of the Musaf. This year we will only blow on the second year of Yom Tov. The first is when we have Malchiyot, where we pronounce Hashem as Melech. It's his coronation. Our king is sitting in his honest throne, in his majesty, in his greatness. And we come forward to him and we acknowledge his kingship. That is first Malchuyot. So we have to accept on ourselves that he's a Melech. If you accept the yoke of the king without conditions, that is the first idea in. And it has to be your best. You stand in front of king, it's not, you can ask him for mercy, but the king is judging you. And he's going to inspect you up and down. He's going to say what sort of person you are. He gets all the information. He has all the information. And therefore, you have to be at your best. That's Malchuyot. He's your king, and he's judging you. Zichronot, we blow again for Zichronot, the bracha of Zichronot, where the memory, before Hashem, there's no past, present, and future. Everything is laid out before him. The past, the present, and the future. We are the children of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, and all those great ancestors, all of the great people, the Shivatim, and all the great people who went before us. And Hashem looks at us, comparing us to their deeds as well, to what they are. And this is Zichronot. So we see where he come from and what's expected of us. It really should make us feel ashamed. If you don't behave properly, if you're not willing to do what is right, Malchut Shamayim, then the Zichronot will be ashamed for us because we have such great ancestors, we come from such great stock, and look at you, look at this man, look at him. This Zichronot should galvanize us to emulate our forefathers. So when we think of Zichronot, we have to remember that nothing's hidden from Hashem, and Hashem sees everything as in the present. And he compares us, and he sees where we come from, and it's hard for us to give excuses. So therefore, galvanize us as we have to do better. We have to really strive to reach out. Matai Masai Masai Avot, like my deeds should be like these of my forefathers. Then you have Mama Beshofrot. How do you crown him on your king? And you remember where your stock you belong from and what you're capable of and what you have, Beshofrot. The shofar has a segula, has something in it that can penetrate lifnai u lifnim, penetrate deep in our hearts. And you know, in your heart, deep in your heart, you're a great person. You're wonderful. You've got all the potential, and you have a Yiddish heart. You have a Jewish heart. You have a heart which God put into you, Nishmat, Nishama, which God put into you. The Avot conditioned it and perfected it. And you have that Nishama in you. That's your the Nishama in you. And that shofar should bring out what you have in potential, bring it out into your deeds. So let us think when we hear the shofar, the first thoughts should be, the first lot, Malchuyot. that God is king. We're crowning him. And who are we in front of him? Everything must be in his honor. We are not even in front of a king. We are mevatel. We are annul ourselves in front of the honor of the king. Zichronot, and remember what we're capable of, because we come from what's stocked from our zichronot, from our forefathers. And the shofar, let the shofar penetrate your heart and awaken you to what you really are able to do. It's there. You have that pure neshama, conditioned by the avot, brought down into this world and given to you. And you're capable of all that. Shofrot, first is Malchuyot, Zichronot, and Shofrot. But let me give one etzah, one thought, one advice. When you pray to Hashem, ask, if you're praying to a king, what is the biggest bakasha, what's the biggest request you can really make to the king? You know, the Chafetz Chaim brings a mashal of a soldier who was very smartly dressed. He polished his armor, he did everything. And the king came to inspect, and he was taken in by the neatness, by the grace. This soldier with shining armor, standing straight. And so he went up to the soldier and he tells him, soldier, yes, I'll give you a request. Make a request to me. Yes, and the secretary there writing down. And he says, oh, he started thinking. He said, yes, he'd like a better bed. He'd like more food. Instead of 2 meals, like 3 meals. And I said, if you give a list of the things he wants. The secretary wrote it down, fine. And the king went on. Yes. There was a clever man standing behind. And he said, you fool. That's what you asked him for. To make your conditions a little bit better in this world. You know what you should have asked him? I want to be your personal guard. I want to be a guard of yours in your palace. I want to be close to you. If he's close to the king, then he gets everything. Everything wonderful. This is what we have to ask Hashem. We want to be close to him. Not our petty things we ask for. You ask, I want to be close to you, and you'll have it. And everything will follow. School, Yeshanim, what about Ktiva ve'chatima tova.